What's your name?
Why do you want to know?
Because I want to know whose podcast I'm listening to.
And if you do want to know, my name is Dara.
I'm Emily.
And we never really introduce ourselves ever, but those are our names, and this is our podcast, and it is The Swamp, and it's an acronym.
Stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And we are ending our slasher-themed month with the slasher movie. I think we started it with, like, the OG slasher. Well, I mean, I guess Psycho is, like, the OG slasher movie, but, like, the iconic Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Myers, obviously, and then we're ending it with, like, the self-referential reinvention of the genre, iconic 1996 Scream, which I'd never seen.
How'd you like it? What are your first impressions? Because we're fresh off of watching it.
Yeah,
the TV is still warm.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. We've said this, like, I'm sure we're, like, a broken record at this point by being like, we're not really horror people. Like, I just don't
don't watch these kind of movies.
I'm not really a horror person. But, like, I guess what I think about it, I do, like... it sounds so pretentious, but, like, psychological thriller versus horror, I feel like it's, like, the element of, like, camp.
Yeah.
I feel like is with horror and not with psychological thriller. And I'm more of, like, a...
It's, like watching, like, Zodiac is, like, the most boring movie I've ever seen in my life. But,
really?
like, it's really good.
See, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm more of, like, a Silence of the Lambs girl and less of, like, a, you know... I don't know. But, so I had never seen this, and I did enjoy it, and I think it was really hyped up to me a lot this past month of people being like, you've got to fucking do Scream. And I had only ever really thought of it as, like, you know, the scary movies. I had seen some of those just, like, in, like, junior high or whatever when they were coming out. The one specifically that I remember seeing is when they carry the huge blunt. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't... But I always
is that the one where, like, isn't it, like, Snoop Dogg and Mac
is
Miller?
Yeah.
Like, Ashley Tisdale is, like, the star?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. So I just always thought that, like, that I knew this was the movie that they were, like, making fun of in those movies, but I had never seen this movie, so I was like, oh, this is just the thing they're making fun of. So that's all I ever really thought about it. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I liked it more than I expected to. Okay. I think. At the beginning of this month, if you would have told me, like, oh, you're gonna enjoy Scream, I'd be like, really? But I definitely liked it more than fucking Halloween.
Well, it's the thing, like, gay people love Scream.
Well, this movie is so gay.
Yeah, this movie is, like, insanely gay.
Tell me that Sydney and Tatum are not girlfriends, and tell me that fucking Billy and Stu are not gay lovers.
Oh, no, entirely.
They are.
That's actually the motive.
Yeah, that they're gay lovers.
Yeah,
they're
he's tied down to Sydney, and he feels like he can't express himself, and so, like, the only way he can, like, get out of it is, like, killing his girlfriend.
Bro, like, stab me, but, like, not in a gay way. Like, just stab me in the side, like, just a little bit. Like, in a bro-y straight way, like, not in a gay way.
You're used to penetrating me other ways, but, like, this is new for us. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this movie is, like, insanely gay, but, like, also this movie is funny. You looked at me, like, halfway through the movie, you're like, I can't tell if this movie is, like, supposed to be as funny as it is, but I'm having a hoot.
I was having a hard time recognizing if it was, like, self-aware or not. Which I don't think it matters if it is or isn't, because it just
That's what's artful about it.
Yeah.
I like that you can't tell, too.
Which I'd like to think that it is, but it just straight up doesn't matter.
It's like...
it's so funny. There was just this scene where, like, the news on TV was about her dead mom. Like, they were like, raped and brutally tortured this woman 1 year ago. And then it, like, pans over to her, and she, like, curls up on the couch, and it made me laugh. And you looked at me, and you're like, why are you laughing? I'm like, because this is funny. It's just, like, the filmmaking, like, the manual zoom in, or, like...
It's, like, it reminds me of, like, those shots in Glee. Yeah. I hate to have to, like, out myself every time. As a Glee.
But it was always the reflection of, and it just happened over and over, like, the killer's reflection in the frozen pizza aisle. That's so funny.
He's in the store. There's other people there.
Nobody gives a shit.
Just him dashing across the yard.
And I liked how, I mean, obviously everyone said that this was the movie that kind of did the whole, like, self-aware genre. Like, we're gonna talk about the movie while it's happening, and, like, these are the rules of horror, like, and they're happening. And that's when we covered Cabin in the Woods last week. I think that was what that movie was trying to do. No, once again, no hate to the Cabin in the Woods lovers out there.
I see you. You're valid.
Sure, yeah. It just wasn't for me, and I think that this movie definitely, if it's like, what do you follow that movie up with? The movie that actually just did it in a way that was good and entertaining.
For sure.
Because that movie didn't make me laugh. This movie fucking made me laugh. This movie was like, oh, we're doing the hokey tropes, and it was, like, actually funny, and that movie's like, we're gonna do the hokey tropes, but it's a criticism. But Sigourney Weaver was not in this film, but you know who was? Henry Winkler. So we let out the same gasp at the same time. We're like, it's Henry Winkler. Ooh. My note is just his name with an exclamation point. Love to see it. I love to see Henry Winkler on my TV.
Daddy Wink.
And when he said, your principal loves you over the PA system,
I felt that. I felt that.
Your principal loves you. Imagine if our high school principal had said that. I think I would have gone ape shit.
Well, imagine if our high school principal, like, gently cupped your face the way he did with Sydney.
I did not like the way he touched her.
You started yelling. You're like, don't touch her.
Like, don't touch her like that. Like this caress of the under chin. No.
Do you think he was having an affair with her mother?
Apparently everyone was.
Yeah, I guess so.
The way they were like, that...
The town slut.
That dirty skank bitch deserved to get murdered. Literally, everyone was like, yeah, that skank deserved to get murdered. I'm like, dude, that's like...
Her, like, friends were saying it to her face, basically.
Your mom was kind of a slut.
Yeah, Tatum was like, hey, baby, I hate to break it to you, but your mom was throwing it around.
What did they say? They're like, your mom is just like Sharon Stone, but not as hot.
Which also, again, jump scare also, I didn't realize Tatum was played by Rose McGowan.
Right? You said that, and I was like...
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, is I realized, like, after she had been, like, killed in the movie, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Scream.
Oh, yeah.
Our podcast is spoiler-full, not spoiler-free, so...
That's on you for getting 7 minutes into it, having not seen
You should know this by now, unless you're new. And if you're new, welcome. We're happy to have you.
Oh, yeah, if you're new. Hi. So a lot of new people come to us from TikTok. So I always forget that, like, it's not just the same, like, 3 people who listen to us. Like, not everyone's always, like, familiar with our content.
Shout out to our same 3 people that listen, though.
Yeah. My mom, Rachel... a third person, some queer teen from Ohio, I bet. Yeah, you 3, I'm really rocking for you. But yeah, we talk a lot spoilerful, and also, like, some could be considered semi-offensive or, you know, content warning stuff. Like, this movie, people get killed in it, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. This is at least an NC-17, if not R-rated podcast.
Oh my god, that whole conversation that the two of them have, though, when he's like...
I'm trying to make our relationship NC-17.
What was it? Okay, like, also, the way he started that off of being like, we started off really hot and heavy, and then your mom died, and your pussy dried the fuck up, and you need to get over it. Like, your mom died, and you stopped being horny. Babe, what happened? I was like...
Your mom was brutally murdered, and now you don't want to have sex with me anymore?
By me, by the way. The big whodunit at the end is that it was I mean, obviously we already said, but
Stu and Billy.
And they are dual committing crimes, and Billy's the boyfriend, obviously, and Stu is Shaggy. Which I thought was pretty ironic that, like, in Scooby-Doo, it's always a big, like, whodunit, like, rip the mask off and it's just a guy. But, like, in this movie, he's the guy.
Yeah, I love it.
Unmasking. That's I love that duality to Matthew Lillard.
Do you think the Ghostface mask stays on for them during sex?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because clearly they have to own... Well, maybe they only own one.
No.
Do you think they share?
I'd
like to think they share.
I'd like to think so, but I think out of, like, convenience sake and just, like, practicality-wise, like, they definitely have to.
Well, clearly these masks are a dime a dozen because everyone fucking goes out and buys them to, like, bully her at school. They're like, haha, your mom is dead and you got, your house got broken into. We're all gonna put on these Halloween masks. The timeline of this film Was it supposed to be taking place during Halloween?
I don't know. It didn't really specify, honestly.
It seemed very California in the way that, like, seasons are not present.
They were definitely in Napa Valley.
Right?
Like, the sweeping landscapes outside of everyone's house, and everyone owns a mansion.
Everyone's house. Everyone's parents, apparently, are, like, wine tycoons.
Yeah. On the vineyard.
Literally, Jay Gallo himself has to be fucking Stu's dad, because that house... Okay... I just want to keep
like,
your Neve Campbell.
This country townhouse.
This is our...
I'm like, what the fuck?
This is just the house that we let the kids throw the parties in. It's not a big deal. But fucking, what's their name in the movie? Sydney? Yeah. Sydney's house looks like the Obama estate. You know those aerial pictures of the Obama estate and everyone was criticizing it for, like, being kind of ugly? It's like that really, really expensive houses that are just still objectively kind of ugly. Yeah. It's always like the Tuscan kitchen design is always just like so, like, oh, you clearly paid so much money for this to just, everything is just brown. Yeah. Varying shades of brown. But I'm like, that's the Obama's house. Yeah.
It's giving, like, you remember, like, it's like early 2000s when people had, like, those giant jars that it was like olive oil and there was just like... And it was just like sun-dried tomatoes and olives in it. And no one ever used them. It was just there for decoration.
Sold at the Pier 1.
Exactly.
As decor.
Yeah, that's the kind of house she has. It's one of those.
Which, speaking of decor, you just had like a jar of pickles or like pickled something.
I can't even say, I can't say shit because...
But I'm sure those are actually edible. Yeah. This was like the centerpiece of the table.
My coworker brought these in like one day.
I love it. Yeah, but their houses were stupid. I'm like, no wonder you're like having so many chase scenes. You have 97 bedrooms in your house.
Really?
You can't find one with a functionally locking door.
No.
Are you kidding me?
You don't even know where the front door is to run out.
Yeah. When Stu is... So what's the guy who works at the video store? What's his name?
Ooh.
Randy?
Randy. Yeah.
When Stu and Randy are both running up the front steps to try to convince Sydney that they're not... They're like, no, it's not me. Let me in, or whatever. I'm like, Stu, this is your house. You gotta know that there's a back door somewhere.
Really?
Especially if he's the killer, too. I'm like, dude, just let it go. Run around to the...
Come on.
This is your house.
I think one of my favorite, like, at least, like, breaking and entering scenes... because there's so many of them in this movie, is like the starter, which like, because it's like, first of all, it's iconic. Drew Barrymore, like, who is this or whatever,
burning the shit out of that Jiffy Pop. I was so anxious. She just let it. It was on fire. It takes a second to turn the stove off. You're like waltzing around and prancing around. Just turn off the fucking stove. Yeah. It's not, oh my god, it was stressing me out so much. I'm like, it doesn't matter if the killer gets in your house or not, because it's gonna be burnt to the ground by the time this resolves itself.
Yeah. No, which, like, the opening, of course, iconic. But, what is it? He's like, oh my god, what is it? He's like, guess which door I'm at? And she's like, don't make me do this! And the chair just goes flying through the window. I was like, this is, like, so funny. Like,
the only thing I really knew about this movie, like, plot-wise, other than that it was just, like, a general, like, teenage slasher fic, was that opening sequence. And I was shocked that it happens right out the gate. Like, the only thing I knew was the whole, like, oh, like, what's your name? I want to know who I'm looking at. Drew Barrymore on the phone, like, type B. I did not think that her screen time was going to end.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She has her 10-minute opening cameo, and that's all
No, that's it. And that's all she needed to do, because it was so good.
Her iconic bob. That bob, my gosh. She was serving with that bob.
And you know she does 100 brushes every night.
It looked like a wig.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was.
It probably was, but I'm talking, like, her character.
It was really giving, like, Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, like, the wig she puts on. Oh, my God.
Ugh,
it was giving that.
No, but that's all she really had to do. She served cunt. And she's still, like, probably the more iconic person, like, from this movie.
I would think that her performance stands out to me more than Neve Campbell's does.
For sure.
Like,
I don't care about the virgin.
No.
Even if she's not a virgin by the end. It was...
I was like, we have to fuck, so I have the right to kill you. Like,
yeah,
what?
Come on. But, like... That was, like, such a funny, like, sequence for me. Is, like, watch it. She's, like, goes and... I don't even know. Like, they're, like, having a big chit-chat or whatever. And he's like, you don't think I'm the killer still, right? And she's like, no. And then they fuck, and she's like, so obviously I still think you're the killer. Yeah. She's like putting her shirt back on so that like
she was like, I just had a thought. Like, let me just poke this one last time.
Yeah.
She's
like staring off like in the middle of sex, like
disassociating. Thinking like the details of this case really just aren't adding up. She's like grunting. She did not look satisfied afterwards either. She's sitting there.
Of course not.
She's like, so I just like need to bring up a few things. This is just not checking out for me.
She's actively wiping herself with a rag.
And he's like on the floor for some reason.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'd like to think though that I think my favorite character is Randy.
Obviously,
he is sort of our break of the fourth wall, and he's kind of the narrator of being like, oh, everything is like a movie and there are rules, and he's sort of like our touch point for that. But I also just think we would have been bros. Yeah, like Randy and I would have been tight.
Like sitting here watching this, I realized I'm like, instead of if we were teenagers in the 90s, we wouldn't have had a podcast. We would have just worked at a video store.
We would have been Steve and Robin working at Family Video. Yeah. I think.
Which also, should we be them for Halloween next year? I think we should.
I think it'll be too late.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like a really like a reference. I feel like that would be really like Tumblr of us though. Like that would have blown up on Tumblr back in the day.
Yeah.
Type beat.
The two podcast hosts that. Yeah, no.
For sure. But I'd like to think that Randy purposefully is saving himself for marriage because he knows that he's like, it's gonna come up. A murderer is gonna run rampant through this town, and the only way I can survive is if I stay a virgin.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. I'm saving myself for marriage because I'm convinced that eventually a horror movie plot will play out in my life, and I'm just playing it safe.
Yeah. Like, I can't die.
I'd like to think that he prepared for that. He knew, because he
seems like that guy.
He goes through the rules. He knows them.
Exactly. He sticks to it.
He's like, Jamie Lee always gets hers in the end because she's a virgin.
Oh my god. I'll tell you what, this obviously, speaking of like Jamie Lee, we went like really full circle here.
Yeah.
Because we started the month off with Halloween.
And then they watch
Halloween and go through the entire thing.
Yeah. Love that.
Like
Love that for us. That was really, did we plan that? Not really.
No,
but
we didn't.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're that smart, guys.
Which is so obvious. And that's not even like a smart and clever thing. It's like so obvious.
But obviously, like, this movie plays up, like, the whole, like, horny teens die kind of thing. But let me tell you what. Is that Ghostface voice on the phone is so seductive. If they called me and they said, what are you doing? I'm saying, putting my hand in my pants. This is kind of hot. What are you doing?
Clearly, Drew Barrymore thought so, because she's like, no, I don't have a boyfriend. Like,
right?
He's tied up in the back.
Yeah, right?
That would have never worked.
I would have been sitting down and unzipping my pants.
See, it would have never worked for me because I don't answer my phone. If my phone is ringing and it doesn't say the name of like my mom or my husband, I'm not picking it up. Like, I'm sorry. They'd be like 17 missed calls from an unknown number. I'm like, sorry, you got me. But also, if they called and they were like, oh, like your loved one is tied up in the back and all you have to do is answer movie trivia, I would be like, okay, fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what's her name? Casey, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Her character. She said her favorite scary movie is fucking Halloween, and she doesn't know Michael Myers' name.
Right?
She struggles to remember. Bitch.
Michael! Like, come on.
Fuck you.
Fucking joke.
Right.
What a clown.
They're like pulling up IMDb trivia questions for me, and I'm
rattling it
busting through.
Who won Best Supporting Actor for 2001's Academy Awards?
Oh, shit. I could not tell you that.
Yeah.
I was playing trivia last night, actually, and the question was who won Best Actress for her role in Kramer versus Kramer, and nobody fucking knew it. And I was like, I'm gonna kill all of you.
Oh my god.
I've never even seen that movie, but everyone knows it's Meryl Streep. Like, come on.
What a joke.
Anyways.
What a fucking joke. I'm actually gonna just start doing this to, like, random people. I'm just gonna
call a random number and be like, hey, you wanna play trivia?
It's movie trivia specifically. I don't know you or where you are. I just really want to...
I'm going to make, like, vaguely threatening comments until you play trivia with me. That's what this was really about. They really just wanted to play a little Trivial Pursuit.
Oh my god, Billy's just trying, like, super hard to get a good trivia team going. If if not, like, it's too embarrassing for him to live with, so he just has to kill them.
Yeah. He's like in the closet and loves trivia. He's like, fuck, how am I gonna cope with this?
This is every gay person.
I have to kill my girlfriend's whore mom.
She just started clowning him. She was actually on like the competitors trivia team, and she kept bodying him. So he was like, "I'm taking out their weapon."
Which, speaking of trivia, Courtney Cox in this movie, who I did not recognize until
it took you like a hot minute,
like a good half hour, because she's blonde. She's never blonde.
She's not even blonde in this. She's got like two like fucking highlights, and that's it. There is one where she's blonde. I think there's one where she's like fully blonde.
Really? Obviously there are 97 Scream movies.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, I did not recognize. I knew she was in this because I looked at like the IMDb.
When's she gonna?
I was like, when's she gonna pop up?
When's Courtney Cox gonna pop up? I was like, she's already here.
She's actively in front of us.
I was gonna say, she made her appearance.
But her and David Arquette, who plays Deputy Dewey, were married for a really long time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they have like kids together and stuff, which is crazy.
No, for sure. I remember like seeing like on People magazine when they broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
I'm distraught.
His wrestling career also ended with their divorce, I believe.
He had a wrestling career?
He was a wrestler from 2001 to 2021.
What?
Yeah. He's a more famous wrestler than he is an actor.
What?
I only know him because he's Patricia Arquette's brother.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Patricia Arquette's wrestler brother who was married to Courtney Cox. Yeah, there's some trivia for you.
I didn't know
it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up.
That's insane.
Now that I've mentioned it, it's gonna come up. That always happens to me. I learn a fact, and then it almost immediately... That's how I know that we live in a simulation, because I'll learn something, and then it will immediately come up in like a trivial context. I'll be like, I know that.
Yeah, it's because you play so much trivia.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. I also can't believe that Billy, the actor who plays Billy, his name is Skeet.
I love that. Was it Skeet like Ulrich?
Yeah, Skeet Ulrich, which is clearly he's just like a Great Value brand Johnny Depp in this movie. Of course. Like they're trying so hard to have him be Johnny Depp. Like clearly they could not get. Yeah. They did not have the bill for that, but they're like, yeah, we'll get Skeet Ulrich and just give him greasy hair.
Exactly.
And it worked.
Perfect.
It worked.
Perfect. I'd smash.
Skeet. Imagine you name your child Skeet. It has to be a nickname for something.
I would fucking hope.
Skeeter? Is that a nickname? Are people named Skeeter?
I feel like there's a...
Scooter? I feel like it's one of those things, you know how like Peggy is a nickname for Margaret?
Yeah,
it's like
which doesn't make any
Skeet
movie.
has to be a nickname for like Richard.
Richard?
Or like, you know, Jonathan. Like, Skeet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Skeet's coming over later.
I feel like Skipper, that's another one. Isn't
Skipper's good.
Skipper is like a nickname for like...
I don't know.
Steven.
Probably.
Even that makes more sense.
Probably.
Everyone always asks me if my name is a nickname. Because it's...
Dara.
It's like kind of uncommon and 4 letters. But I'm like, what? Dorothy? Dorito? Darathan? Like
Darla?
What? Darla. Oh, people call me Darla all the time.
Really?
I get Darla, Dana, Sarah, all the time. But yeah, Darla. That's not for me.
No. Dude, can we talk about Matthew Lillard in this?
I thought he was gonna be goth. I was upset because I know obviously he's live action Shaggy, iconic. But I thought he was gonna be goth in this because I've seen all the posts in that other movie when it's like SCL Punk or whatever. I thought that he was gonna be goth in this one, but apparently it's from some other movie. So I was really disappointed because I thought he was gonna have all the facial piercings. It's like sexy. No,
he's still pretty hot in this.
He's unhinged. Even
I
from the
like
very
it.
beginning, he's just like, I'm like, why are you acting like that?
Dude,
but like character actor Matthew Lillard, he's serving.
Of course. The way that, like, everyone's, like, joking about, like, Drew Barrymore and her boyfriend getting fucking gutted at school, like, I would be... I wouldn't know how to fucking act. And Matthew Lillard's like, oh, yeah, they found her spleen in the mailbox.
Well, I mean, clearly, because he is the
kid.
He's a little but also
course,
the way that...
But, like, you know what I mean? Like,
all of them get in their cars to drive to the school when they announce that Henry Winkler's body has been disemboweled on the football field.
Let's go
check it out. No, ma'am.
Oh, my God. I'm going home. I'm, like, already too high at the function, and now I'm, like, really scared.
But the way they, like, just drunk drive and almost hit that cop who is so bad at his job.
Horrific.
Awful.
Very accurate.
showed up to an underage drinking party.
He's like, oh, don't worry, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not here to bust you.
If my older brother, who was a cop, showed up to my party, I'd be like, get the fuck out, Dewey. No, you're really ruining the vibe.
Yeah, no, she tells him, like, time and time again, but, like, he just doesn't pick up on his cues.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Ugh. Poor, what's her fucking name? Tatum? Poor Tatum. That you looked at her, she went into, like, the garage to get beers, and Dara goes, and she's like, oh, nipples are hard as rocks. She's about to get clapped.
Nobody with nipples that hard is gonna survive the scene. I'm sorry.
I don't know what to tell you. That's just classic.
In a situation like this.
I was gonna say, that's rule number 4.
5, yeah, no hard nipples.
No hard nipples in your horror movies. Just in general, if you have your nipples pierced, I'm sorry.
You're dead.
You're not making it out.
You're dead.
You're probably really cool, but, like, you're not making it out of this movie alive.
Especially no bra and a tight white t-shirt. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But I think her
you're dying because they're really intimidated.
Yeah. They're like, fuck, you're so cool.
You'd make fun of me.
And I would like it. But I think her death is the most graphic. Slowly going up in the garage door opener out the cat door because her titties are too big to get all the way
reverse
out.
back. Yeah.
That one was rough because mostly it was just kind of generic, like, stabbing that was so shallow that there's no way it would actually kill anyone, but, like, for some reason does.
Yeah, no.
But hers was kind of rough. The killer was just kind of like, oh, this is taking care of itself.
That's also, like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know how, garage doors now have, like,
sensors.
Sensors that it's like, oh, it's not gonna go down if someone's, like, in front of it or whatever. Like, come on. It was 1996. I think they still had those.
Maybe not. Maybe this movie's the reason somebody who worked at the garage door factory was like, you know what we should do? Also, why was there a cat door on the garage? That seems kind of...
Riddle me that.
Yeah.
Why was there not... If there's a cat door on the garage, why is there not a cat door to get back into the house? Did the cat just live in the garage?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Wow.
You keep your cat in the garage?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they had many, because their estate was so large that they actually had, like, an underground tunnel system for the cats to just...
You would hope.
I would like to think that Matthew Lillard's parents, clearly very wealthy parents, were, like, insane cat people.
Yeah, no. It actually just ends up going out. That's how they leave for work in the morning, because they all tend to the vineyard.
There's the cat tunnels.
Yeah. It's like, you know how people, like, put, like, goats to work to, like, clean, like, yards and everything like that? Because goats will eat, like, anything.
Oh, yeah.
And so they'll just, like, weed it. They've just trained, like, they have, like, a highly skilled, like, army of cats.
Who pick the grapes.
Oh my God. Exactly. Like, they won't eat it because the grapes will, like, kill them. Yeah. So, like, there's no issue there.
Oh, yeah, dogs can't have grapes. Can cats have grapes?
I'm assuming no, but, I mean, I couldn't tell you. I'm the dog person here. You're the cat person.
I don't give my cats grapes because I don't fucking keep grapes in the house.
Exactly.
There was a chocolate or vanilla the other week where Jen mentioned grapes, and I was like, fuck grapes. All my homies hate grapes. And somebody slid into our DMs. They're like, I felt really seen by your take on grapes. And I was like, thanks. Whatever works, you know. Whatever gets them in the door, I guess. Me being a grape hater.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey, guess who it is? It's my mom, Jen, back at it again with another chocolate or vanilla interim podcast segment where she comes in, she says 2 things, we all just say which one we like better. It's a fun little game. Jen, how are you doing today?
I'm really good. How are you guys doing?
I'm fine.
Absolutely solid.
And is there a theme this week?
So there's a theme. I was thinking, like, I was at the supermarket and I was like, this trip to the supermarket is just like a version of chocolate or vanilla for me right now. So these are some supermarket decisions.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. So we're shopping in real time, but
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
okay, interesting.
As someone who works in a supermarket at the moment, this is going to be good.
Okay. So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Jen, you have to answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chocolate.
You're really overambitious.
I just
chocolate,
accused
again.
you guys of both looking really tired, and now I'm already, like, flaking out. Yeah, so chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Chocolate.
Vanilla still.
chocolate. Green pepper, red pepper, yellow pepper.
I like the orange ones, but I guess that's not an option, so I'll pick the red. I hate the green ones. I don't fuck with the green ones.
I was just gonna say, I feel very strongly about this. I think green peppers are the worst. Yeah, it goes red, orange, yellow, green on the list of like good to bad for me. I'm a staunch red pepper fan.
Same. I'm gonna say red pepper too. And when you were just like reciting the colors, I felt like you were gonna go into like a rainbow, like a Roy G. Biv kind of thing. You're like red, orange, yellow, green.
I'm actually just gonna start spewing all the PLU codes right now for all of them.
Don't they have purple peppers? That's a thing, right?
They do.
They look like
they
eggplants.
Do. That's like farmers market only.
All right, next one is bacon or breakfast sausage.
Bacon. I feel like I always have bacon in my house. I think sausage is like fine, I'll eat it, but it's like not my preference. But bacon, I feel like I would integrate in any meal regardless of breakfast, lunch, dinner. There's always a place for bacon in a meal.
She's right. Never have I ever sat there and said, yeah, I want a sausage, egg, and cheese. I never want to integrate sausage where there could be bacon, so bacon.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you guys. I would pick bacon over sausage every time. And I like to change things up a lot, but every time I go into a coffee house, I would never say sausage, egg, and cheese. I would always pick bacon.
No. I wouldn't be caught dead. I wouldn't be caught dead at the bodega with a sausage, egg, and cheese.
If you ever see me with a sausage, egg, and cheese in hand, just know that's not me. That's my evil clone.
Oh my gosh. Next one. Cheese tortellini or cheese ravioli? Frozen, by the way.
Okay. I feel like a frozen ravioli has a lot of room to be bad, but a frozen tortellini is like probably fine. So I'll probably go for the tortellini. As far as like if we're at the grocery store, like I bet it's gonna be all right. But if it's like the most primo ravioli versus tortellini, I'm going with the Rav.
I always have preferred the texture of the cheese in a tortellini to the texture of the cheese in a ravioli. It's just a little too soft for me, so I'm gonna rock with the tortellini on this one.
All right, I'm gonna go against you guys because cheese raviolis was like a go-to for my house growing up, so it just brings me back like nostalgia. Next one is Cheez-Its or Smart Food.
Cheez-Its. Smart Food is fine, but I have to be in like the mood to really want it, and I really get those like kernels in my teeth, and then I'm like, was this even worth it? Like, yes, but I need to consider some things. A Cheez-It. I also commend whoever at the Cheez-It headquarters is coming up with these new variations. Typically, the variations on a snack food are tired and busted and just a blatant ploy for marketing. Whoever at Cheez-It is like, make them grooved, make them puffed. Yes, they are succeeding. It is getting me. I have yet to have a Cheez-It varied snack that I have not absolutely enjoyed.
I can attest to this because anytime I've either been at your house, Jen, or Dara, any of your houses, there's always Cheez-Its on hand. You're a hardcore Cheez-It guy. Yeah, you were talking about the kernels on the popcorn. You know what's worse than getting them in your teeth? Have you ever gotten them and it just is stuck on the back of your tongue and you just can't get it down? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Brutal. Absolutely horrible. So context for this question, though, because there's so many different varieties of Cheez-It, and there's pretty much one single variety for Smart Food. There's a couple, but, like, you have, like, the staple Smart Food. Are we talking, like, plain old Cheez-It?
I guess
are we talking
I would say
any?
OG, original Cheez-It for the purpose of this question, but that definitely lends itself to another discussion of which is the best Cheez-It.
It's the grooved white cheddar.
Gary and Ryan love the white cheddar.
Oh, the way it slices up the inside of my mouth and then seeps that salt in to just cure those wounds. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So while that one is the best, and I'm gonna stick with the other white cheddar option this time, and I'm gonna go with the Smart Food just because I personally really like a snack that's dusted. I want like that little. I want that little cheese grease on my fingers afterwards, as like the exactly.
I want to be like, unable to get rid of it.
I'm not eating the snack for the taste of the snack itself. I'm eating it so that I have a layer of cheese to lick off my fingers at the end. So I'm gonna rock with smart food this time.
So I am gonna go with Cheez-Its, and unpopular opinion, but I like those extra toasty ones.
That is not an unpopular. That's popular.
Oh,
You're only saying that's popular because you rock with them.
I get a hard time at my house. Everybody's saying that's the worst one, but I really like them. Like
they're not bad, but it's just a more dry Cheez-It. Like, that's the thing, is like the standard Cheez-It is already pretty dry.
Oh my god, I'm gonna need more white wine to go with this.
Oh god!
Oh, how awful. Next one is ham, turkey, or roast beef. We're at the deli counter now.
I feel like I'm not really a cold cut kind of gal, but I will snag some ham every once in a while, like to do in a pan. Like, it's too greasy or like slimy on its own. I have to like put it in a pan and sizzle it up in my breakfast sandwich if bacon is not an option. So I guess I'll go with ham. Turkey's also like fine. I do not fuck with roast beef. It tastes like metal.
I just think that all cold cuts are kind of repulsive. And so I don't eat a lot of them. I don't think I've ever had roast beef because I think it just seems disgusting. Can't tell you the last time I had ham besides at like an Easter dinner. If I have to get like a sandwich, like a Subway sandwich kind of thing, I'll rock with like a turkey. Just because it's really plain, very standard. It feels like I can't go wrong with it. I hate myself for it because it does nothing for me, but like I know I need like some sort of protein, so I'll stick with turkey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with turkey too. I like a turkey club, like a turkey BLT. Ritz, Wheat Thins, or Triscuits.
Ritz, Wheat Thins, or Triscuits. Again, with the recent like marketing switching up their flavors, the new as in like in the past 10 years, the line of Triscuits that they have the sun-dried tomato one and like the cracked black pepper one. Oof. Fire. I also love a Triscuit gives me the same satisfaction of like when I see a wicker basket and I want to chomp into it.
Yeah, you just gotta get a box of Triscuits.
Wicker furniture. I want to crunch it so bad, and a Triscuit does give me that satisfaction, so I'll go for the Triscuit.
They just have mice actually weave the entire Triscuit together. It's like the same thing as a basket.
Like a little Cinderella movie.
It's actually the army of cats at Stu's house.
Are working part-time to cover their rent, hand weaving.
Yeah, no, in the mornings they pick the grapes from the vineyard, and then at night they're hand weaving. They get time and a half for it, though. I'm also gonna pick Triscuits. I used to hate them as a kid, but I think since they've gotten like really a lot more flavors, and I've learned how to pair like a really good cheese with them, I feel like that's part of it. I'm gonna, Triscuits, for sure.
Yeah, same. I'm going Triscuits. I love Triscuits. Next one is Kind Bars or Cliff Bars.
I feel like both are kind of bullshit and overpriced, in my opinion. Like the pseudo-healthy granola bar, but that like actually isn't really healthy and like actually isn't really as filling as they are advertising it to be. But I will say I've had a few Cliff Bars like in a pinch. I think the Cliff Bar does successfully I need a calorically dense snack to substitute a meal in a pinch. Like, I always had a white chocolate macadamia nut Cliff Bar, like, shoved at the bottom of my backpack in high school just for, emergency. Yeah. Whereas I feel like a Kind Bar could never.
Yeah. You're, like, cleaning out your backpack before the next year starts, and you find it, and it's all crinkled to shit, and it's, like, totally flattened. I think I agree with Dara. I'm just not like a big protein bar person. I think they're usually gross. And again, not very good for you. But yeah, when I needed them, I was a Cliff Bar bitch. So I'll stay true.
Yeah, I'm gonna say same. I was gonna say the same thing. Like, a Cliff Bar can substitute for a meal. Next one is grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, or Campari tomatoes.
What's a Campari tomato?
It's those little round ones. They're smaller than a regular tomato, but bigger than a cherry tomato, and they're perfectly round. I know what you're talking
about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
They're the kind we always have at our house.
I don't fuck with tomatoes. I only buy tomatoes in a fucking can because the only reason you should have tomatoes is to make a sauce. I don't like a uncooked tomato on a sandwich, slimy. No, not for me.
All it does is make it wet.
I don't do that. I don't do all that. So I have to be cooking my tomatoes. So it's usually like San Marzano in the gallon, like jug can situation. But I'll just pick, what's the most generic one? Beefsteak? Is that what you said?
Oh, it's the grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, Campari. Those are your choices.
Grape and cherry, those are the same, are they not?
They're not.
It's a different shape.
Oh my god.
It's basically the same
I'll go with the Campari then. Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go with grape tomatoes because they're always way cheaper at the grocery store, and whenever I try to grow cherry tomatoes, the plant itself always outgrows the cage and it ends up falling apart, and I just end up getting like really pissed off and say, why do I grow these every year? But they do feed the squirrels. But I'm gonna still rock with grape.
Squirrel food. I'm gonna say Campari. Some years we get tons of tomatoes, and some years we get like next to none when we grow them. I don't know. Next one is regular hummus, roasted red pepper hummus, or garlic hummus.
Whoa.
Garlic hummus. There's never a reason when I'm eating hummus that I'm like, this needs less garlic.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, this is really hard because I really like a roasted red pepper one, but I am usually dipping a red pepper in my hummus, so I don't need more of that. I need garlic.
Yeah, I'm gonna say roasted red pepper hummus. I ate an entire container with veggie chips as my dinner on Sunday. I couldn't stop.
Oh, but it's so good. Is it the Sabra kind?
It was the Sabra kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we actually were supposed to publicly denounce Sabra because they are Zionists. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but it's really important to research your hummus brands because a lot of them are like Israeli nationalist like brands. So, shouts out. You gotta take a look at your hummus. I think it's Sabra, but maybe not.
That sounds about right.
Sorry to bring down the convo.
Now I feel bad. Next one is...
Jen's like, I ate the whole tub.
by myself. Next one is Oreos or Nutter Butters.
Ooh, Oreos. I fuck with a Nutter Butter, but I definitely need to be in a certain mood for, I feel like a peanut buttery snack is like, I need to be in the mood for it, but an Oreo anytime can...
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you there.
Same, Oreos for sure. So, again, another one with so many varieties. Oh my gosh, do you have a favorite variety of Oreo?
There used to be one that it was like this weird birthday cake one, and it was so strange. And then I think they like changed it, and it was never the same. But it's so good. Also, like, of course, the Halloween ones just taste better. You know what I mean?
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I do not fuck with the double stuffed. It's too much stuff. It's too much stuff. I just like the normal. It's the cookie to frosting ratio has to be perfect, and it's too much frosting.
Yeah, it is.
The frosting's not the good part. The cookie's the good part. I don't need more of the frosting. It's just for that. It's for the texture.
Have you ever had the Thins?
No, because I think those usually are mint flavored. I don't fuck with that either.
It's so sad. It's really depressing.
It's just like a thinner cookie and a thinner filling.
Yes, but it's mostly cookie at that point.
Yeah. Another unpopular opinion. I actually like vanilla Oreos. Like for someone who says chocolate every time. Yeah.
I can't eat them the same way that I eat the chocolate ones.
Agreed.
Or the original ones.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Because I can eat like one whole like section of it.
Sleeve.
It's like, sleeve. Yeah. I could eat like one whole sleeve of like the originals. I could probably have like 4 tops of the vanilla.
I make these really good cookies, and they have chocolate chips and crushed up Oreos in them.
Woo!
They're really good.
Very fire.
Yeah. Ben & Jerry's Half Baked versus Ben & Jerry's Coffee Buzz Buzz.
I don't think I've ever got the Coffee Buzz one in like a pint from the grocery store. That was always the one that I would rock with. Back in the day, the movie theater that we used to go to had a fucking Ben & Jerry's in the movie theater. So you could like, as your movie snack, I would always get the coffee milkshake like for my movie snack. So lit. It's That's not, hot. I think it's like it's something else now, not as good. But definitely the half-baked has been there for me time and time again throughout my life as a pillar. I also love how big the chunks are in it because I love to feel like I'm excavating dinosaur bones while I'm eating my ice cream, so.
I don't love half-baked that much, but I do love a good coffee ice cream. It's a staple. So I'm going to rock with the coffee buzz on this one.
Thanks. I'm going to go half-baked, and shout out to Ryan. Ryan loves half-baked.
Ryan is my brother.
Yeah. I thought people would know that. Next, last one. Ground coffee or coffee beans?
Coffee beans. I grind my own because putting them in the little thing and grinding them and having your house smell like coffee is so satisfying.
Yeah, coffee beans, for sure.
Yeah, always coffee beans. And that was it for supermarket chocolate or vanilla.
Loved it. This is good.
Wow, I feel like I just went to the store. I feel like it's unpopular. I really love grocery shopping. I feel like it stresses a lot of people out. I like to go like strategically when I know it's not going to be busy. Like, you know, like, oh, it's like the middle of the day on a Wednesday, so I can go and just like have my headphones in. I will say shopping at Trader Joe's is especially stressful.
Yes.
Because just of the way that the aisles are, like that was not designed for like a conducive shopping experience.
You would hate my Trader
Like I always
Joe's.
bump in.
It's so
I always
small.
bump into somebody. I hate it. But they're, you know, it's worth the hassle. But a normal ass grocery store, give me a Wegmans. Put me in a Wegmans for like 3 hours and like a good album or like a good podcast. Oof.
Yeah.
That's like a little serotonin boost. I love the grocery store.
No, that's one thing I do miss because I don't have to go to the grocery store anymore because I'll just pick up what I need at the end of the night kind of thing. So I don't get to grocery shop really. So I do miss it. I agree with you there. I do like grocery shopping. I find it like peaceful, especially like if you ever have just like one headphone in and you're kind of like, oh, maybe I want to try something new. You know what I mean? Taking your time with the aisles. But
that's when I always end up spending like $400. And I'm like, I have one basket of things and it's like so expensive. But anyways, Jen, you got me thinking about the grocery store. So as always, thank you so much for your contribution to the podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. I'll try to put these up on Instagram, Who's to Say, and you all can vote for what you prefer. And goodbye.
I love you guys. Have an awesome night.
honestly, I'm gonna call Sydney out for this. I don't think it's unreasonable for Billy to be as upset that he is that he had to wait 2 years to bone. There, I said it.
Yeah, he was like, we were so close to boning, and then I killed your mom, and now you seem pretty distant. What's up, babe? I don't know. I guess they're in high school, so it is
Right? Like, that's like the horniest time of your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, not mad at her, actually. Why is he still with her if he wants to get pussy that bad?
Because he has clearly he cares more about living out his murderous plot than he does about fucking her. Like, clearly he has this plan that he, like, dated her and then he killed her mom, and he's like, now we have to wait until the 1 year anniversary, so I just gotta stick it out. He's dicking down Matthew Lillard, duh. He's getting his. It's an act. It's an act because then it's the big buildup, and then he takes her virginity. He's like, haha, now I get to kill you because I'm following the rules. I guess. But at one point, doesn't somebody accuse her mom of fucking the boyfriend? They're like, your whore mom was probably sleeping with your boyfriend. That's why she got killed.
Like, the biggest whore in this movie was Matthew Lillard. He plays it. Dude, he plays that character. He plays that character like his dick is hard the entire movie.
Right? It's when they're in the video store.
Yeah. It's like getting caught, like, in the door. You know what I mean? Like, he's up 24/7.
The horny apex of this movie is definitely when they're, like, unveiling to Neve Campbell that they're the killers. And he, like, is resting his chin on Billy's shoulder, and he's like, oh, hey.
He's giving him, like, neck kisses.
Yeah, we killed your mom.
He actually just starts jerking him off while he's, like, got, like, the knife up to her throat.
The logic that they're like, we're gonna stab each other, so it looks like we, like, got mixed up in this and we're not the killers. I'm like, you wait till the end to do that.
Why would you not? Like, everyone's, like, once everyone's dead, then you stab each other? Like, come on. That's how you know that this was all planned out by two teenage boys.
Right.
Because that's the dumbest thing you could have ever done.
Like, stab me in the side, not too deep. I'm like, no.
Like, why would you not, like, kill Neve Campbell and her father first, make sure everyone's dead, then you stab each other and immediately call 911.
But I guess that's...
Who did this better? Them, or we could do it better?
Oh, come on. Two skinny-ass, twinky little teenage boys versus two incompetent pussy ass. I couldn't kill somebody. I'd be too scared.
I couldn't kill someone, but I think like logistically, like I could plan it for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hire us to be no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Like I'm making them a spreadsheet of like who they need to kill,
and like the horror movie reasoning that they can then rely on. Like, yeah, she was a fucking slut. She deserved to die.
Exactly.
Right? But I think that maybe that was part of the horror movie trope on purpose to expose the genre of being super tropey of like them fucking up planning it, because I feel like that's also a thing that you're like, why didn't you think of that? Like in every horror movie, you're like, what the fuck? Why didn't you think of that?
Why did you run upstairs to get away from the killer?
But I would say that I would be similar to Ghostface in the way that I would do a lot of shallow stabs. Like I think if I had to stab somebody, I'd go for it, but then I'd like recoil. I'd be like, ah! It would have only gone in just like a little bit. The way he's just like swinging the knife through the door with no like intention or purpose. Like you gotta really put your back into it, you know?
Did you have a favorite death?
The garage door one I think is definitely like the most iconic in the way, but I think the opening scene, the whole opening 10 minutes I think was the best part of the movie, which is really a lot of balls to put your like, I don't know if they knew it was going to be iconic, but like to do your most iconic scene first, like right off the, like that's a hard open. Yeah. But it definitely got me like
wrapped in it.
Yeah, it got me. Yeah. But I'd say, that and the garage door, I think were pretty...
I think I liked Matthew Lillard, like, slowly dying for, like, 15 minutes after his boyfriend stabbed him. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, shit, I think I'm losing, like, a lot of blood, actually. This might not be good. And then, like, the TV screen on top of him as he just gets electrocuted.
Jamie Lee on the TV bonked on his head. Very, very good.
No. We talked a lot in Halloween how, like, everyone dies like they're coming and everything like that. And I just see him convulsing on the ground and I'm like, his dick, like, he's
still hard.
He's still hard. Like, all the, like...
Stay hard, die hard.
He's losing so much blood because, like, he's already got, like, all of the blood he could possibly have in his dick right now.
He's like, I'm losing a lot of blood and the what I have left is in the most important spot. I would say my least favorite death, though, I'm sure it was, like, on purpose to be tropey, but when fucking Courtney Cox has the gun and, like, does her speech of, like, this is the ending that we write. Now the reporter comes in and saves the day. I'm like, don't do your speech. Just shoot him, because then you would have had enough time to realize that the safety was on, and then you could have done something about it instead of being like, I'm doing my girl boss speech. And then Neve Campbell's like, yeah, we're doing a girl boss speech.
And then he kicks her in the stomach.
He kicks her in the stomach, which effectively knocks her unconscious for like 12 minutes.
At the very least.
I thought she was dead. I was like, he just kicked her in the stomach and she's out. Like, that would, I mean... he didn't kick her in the head. No. I guess she kind of flew back a little bit.
Yeah, she probably bonked her little head.
Onto Dewey. But then it takes her 12 minutes and then she wakes up and shoots him. And I'm like, what?
Come on.
No, I didn't like that.
Was she the one that, did she actually figure out how to, like, turn off the safety?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think I would know how to turn off the safety on a gun.
Absolutely not.
That's why we could never be the killer.
I think just holding a gun, I'd be like, I'm too scared.
This is actually really heavy.
Oh my god, I got my flu shot yesterday, so my arm's kind of tired.
Oh no. Oh my god. I loved at the end though, where what is it? 'Cause like Courtney Cox does a whole big speech and fucking Sydney like goes and like takes her moment to like run away and all that shit. And she takes the time to put on the entire outfit.
Drama.
Oh my
Theatrics. God. She was like, wait, I'm really gonna get him. I'm really gonna get him this time.
She's the girl that says, like, I'm not the drama, but she's entirely the drama. I'm the drama. Like, come on.
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama?
Which is like, yeah, I'm gonna hide in the closet and I'm really gonna get him. Like, while I'm in here just waiting for this to unfold, I might as well put the mask on. That was really funny of her. She's like, tee, I'm gonna put the mask on.
Ooh. Like, why would you, like, also, like, that outfit that they have is, like, so ineffective to work with. Like, that's the thing. Mike Myers you're wearing, like, a Mike Myers, like, ass jumpsuit right now. For anyone that's, like, watching, like, the YouTube video that we do for this, Dara's walked in with just a sleigh of like a workman's coveralls.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a coverall bitch. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a very Michael Myers energy of me.
But like Mike Myers has like the right idea. He's got like a very like
It's
very
effective.
very durable, very effective. Like you could still move in it.
This
It could
cloak.
honestly probably like deflect like something. You know what I mean? It's bulletproof. Pow pow. But like this cloak ass
Floor length cloak.
floor length ghosty cloak, like that thing is getting caught in doors. Like it's getting torn. It's
The big wizard sleeves. Like, that is not dynamic.
right, like how are like your knife is getting caught in that.
Also, their knife is like not that big.
No.
It's like a mid-sized kitchen knife. I really
It
thought
doesn't
was
look
gonna
sharp
be-
at all.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
That's hardly getting through my steak, let alone in the chest. That's why all those stabs just looked like, I'm like, is that even getting through their clothes?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's
There's
every
not a
movie.
point on it. It's literally like curved. What, your fucking hunting knife? Like what? No.
For deboning a fish. No. No, ma'am.
You gonna scale like your kills after too? Like, come on now. Ugh. Again, these boys are like they literally like went to the first. Also, is it that hard to track? Like, just look for the person who like go to like all of like the costume shops, find the person like who bought like the one like mask before it like blew up. You know what I mean?
Who started the mask?
Yeah, who
trend?
started the trend?
Go to the eye
There
party.
you go.
Ask the 16-year-old eye party employee, like, do you remember the person who bought the spooky mask like 3 months ago? And they're gonna be like, fuck no. The pop-up Halloween. What are those stores called? Spirit Halloween. The pop-up Spirit Halloween. They're like, yeah, they were the first customer, like fresh as soon as we took over this abandoned Old Navy.
Oh my goodness. No, this is probably like the one like movie that like I'll like continually like or like horror movie I guess that I feel like I'll continually revisit. Like every 2 years I'll kind of watch it around like this time of year and everything like that.
I feel like I'd watch it for a good giggle. It definitely also really fits the like, you know, oh, it's a cozy fall day. I'm gonna watch like an iconic little like fall movie while I like have a nice cider. It gives me that vibe.
Like it's one that I would want to watch in like a big group of people, like how they are like with Halloween in the movie, you know what I mean?
I said this during the first week of this month, I think, but I'll say it again. I think if you had put like flashcards in front of me of the title of the film that I had to match with who the killer was, I don't know if I would have put the ghost face guy with Scream. I really don't know if I would have.
Probably not.
Maybe after some careful consideration, but like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason, Ghostface, who doesn't even, his name should have been like something cooler. They don't even call him Ghostface in this, do they?
Yeah, I think they do.
Ghostface Killer.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, that's
I think Tatum does.
Ghostface Killer. That's a rapper. I understand his name now. That makes so much sense. Cause wow. Okay.
You're listening to Derek like culture herself and
Wow.
like
Every
real
day we're
time.
learning. Every day we're learning and we're growing.
Oh my God. How many Scream movies are there? Is my
so
question.
many. And I know, yeah, people love the whole franchise. I don't really see how they could do this again and still have it be effective and funny because it's like you did the bit. It's like a bit.
Yeah.
How many are there? Because I know there are 11 Halloween movies. How many Scream movies are there? Does it rival? I know there's a new one that came out like last year that's also just called Scream. That's very Halloween of them to just do a sequel or like a remake and just have it be called the same thing. No. Put a colon and give it a second, like Scream.
Only 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's a 2023 one coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, but the 2022 one is literally just called Scream.
Yeah.
What? Is it just a shot? Is it a remake or is it a sequel?
I think it's a sequel still. I don't think it's a remake. I don't think it's at all a remake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you said that Jenna Ortega's in them, right?
Yeah, it's the 5th installment in the series, yeah. A direct sequel to Scream 4, yes.
Yeah, so why'd call it Scream 5? I'm confused.
You should complain.
I will. I'll write a scathing email.
The fuck was this? I hear it's really good. I haven't seen it.
Oh, really? I heard that the new Halloween, the one that just came out, was ass.
Shit.
Everyone is saying it was awful.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what you were expecting.
Yeah.
It's
Was this like the final one?
It's called like the final chapter or something. So like obviously
Sure,
they get him. Like obviously
sure.
they get him.
Do they? Do they, though?
I think so. Spoilers about the new Halloween, but I heard that they put him through a wood chipper at the end, and that's how they know he's gone for good, because they wood chip him. I guess. Jamie Lee puts him in the wood chipper.
Do that with my body. Don't. You're good. You want to say hi?
I didn't know you guys were recording.
No. You want to say hi?
Can I give you my running thoughts?
Yeah, on Scream. So, for anyone that did not listen to our Die Hard episode, my good friend, roommate, and the farthest thing from a film critic, Miss Emily Keston, is here. Have you ever seen Scream?
I think I've seen clips long ago. Isn't she like running and like her boobs are out or something?
No.
I wish.
Maybe I made that up. She's wearing like a white shirt though. Like the beginning scene. In the phone. She's on the phone.
Oh, Drew Barrymore. Yeah, you're thinking of Drew. Yeah.
Yeah, she's on the phone
Yeah.
in the beginning. And...
No boobs are out, but...
I just made that up. Yeah, and he's on the phone, and he's like, I'm gonna get you.
We should have Kesty just do our recaps for movies, but she hasn't seen any of them.
I do the recap, but I've never seen the movie. Yeah. I just go by
Her
the
tits
cover.
are out. She's on the phone.
This sounds like me, like at 2:30, like getting ready for work, and I get a call from my doctor. It's time to schedule your physical. But you've never seen any of these movies?
No, I think I've seen the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why are you asking her this? She's explicitly told us that the only movie she's ever seen is Die Hard.
That's true. Yeah.
And Kindergarten Cop.
We'll have to get you back for the Kindergarten Cop.
It's not the tumor. That's all I know.
Oh my god. Thoughts on Matthew Lillard, at least?
I think I know who he is.
Okay,
He's the one...
I love you. You walked through this and you go, oh, that guy, where do I know him from? And I'm like, oh, the live action Scooby-Doo. You go, no, that punk movie. You're the only person I think who would associate him with that weird like 90s punk movie, other than like everyone knows that that's Shaggy.
Like, here's the thing, is you haven't seen, like, any movie, like, ever, but, like, you've seen, like, some of the most niche movies I've ever, like, heard of and stuff like that. I was sitting there, I was like, oh, I'm watching a movie, like, tonight or whatever, like, this was a couple of days ago, and she's like, oh, what movie? I'm like, oh, Creature from the Black Lagoon or whatever, and she's like, oh, yeah, I've seen that, like, 15 times. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's my grandpa's favorite movie.
Your dad gives you Die Hard. Your grandpa gives you Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
He's hot though in that other movie. Who's that guy?
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard, yeah. Well, he's hot all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was Shaggy.
I think you'd like the homosexual or homoerotic tension in this movie with him and
Scream?
Yeah.
Whoa.
This bitch's eyes just went wide.
They had better chemistry than Courtney Cox and Dewey did, and they were like legit boning.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it just wasn't doing it for me. But Matthew Lillard and fucking what's his name? Skeet Ulcer. That's not his
Skeet Ulrich.
Skeet Ulrich. There was chemistry there.
Oh yeah, easily.
In the chemistry test, when they were reading the script to like see who to cast, they were like, "Oh, is this movie gonna end up being a little gay?"
Yeah. Worse for me.
Also, this is out of left field, but why the fuck did Tatum have two beds?
That really bothered you.
That really rubbed me the wrong way. She had two like twin-sized beds. Push them together at least for when you aren't having a sleepover.
Yeah, you would think, but I feel like she just sleeps in the twin bed.
She didn't have like a twin sister, or like she didn't share her room with anyone.
No, one's for sex.
What?
One's for him and Matthew. Yeah, one's for her and Matthew Lillard.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to, speaking of boating, do you want to get into our regularly scheduled programming?
Yes. So
fuck, marry, kill.
So fuck, marry, kill. I feel like we have to exclude all the high schoolers. So that leaves us with Courtney Cox, Dewey, and do we want to do like Henry Winkler?
Obviously.
Okay. Out of those three, I think I'm gonna marry Henry Winkler. Duh. I guess I'll fuck Courtney Cox, but she was really annoying in this movie. She was rubbing me the wrong way.
I don't know. She's like annoying in a way that I think I could like get along with.
I just really liked her in that like piss yellow. What is it called? A suit, but for women, and it's also
pantsuit.
No, but it wasn't pants. It was a skirt. Business casual. her little pencil skirt with her little blazer.
I know what you're talking
and
about, but
and they match. Is there a word for that? I don't know.
Girl boss suit.
Her little girl boss newscaster outfit. Loved that for her. That she wore for like the first half of the movie, which took place over many days. Like she did not change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll fuck her and I'll kill Dewey because Dewey's a fucking idiot and he's a cop.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna kill Dewey, obviously, but I'm gonna switch you. I'm gonna fuck Henry Winkler. Preferably in his principal's office.
And I'm wearing the mask, and I can tell that he's into that.
Oh yeah, he's super into it.
He was like looking at it, and he was like a little intrigued. And he was like almost gonna put it on. I was like, there's a little something going on there.
Yeah, no, we're boning in the principal's office. But yeah, no, the way that he cupped Sydney's face and
I didn't like that.
The love he has for his students was like a little too much for me. Not for me. But I'm gonna marry Courtney Cox in this.
Okay.
She is a bit annoying, but like I think I can deal with it.
The way that she, hot off of trauma, she pulls up with the mic and she's like, breaking news. We're coming live from the scene. She's still got dried blood on her face.
Yeah,
she's committed to being the best newscaster. Everyone's like, I love your show. And I'm like, you don't love it's the news. What do you mean you love it? It's like your local news station. Yeah. If my local news reporter showed up at my house party, I'd be like, who the fuck invited this 40-year-old?
Yeah, no, I mean, she needs a new cameraman, so we could be like a good team. We could be partners, and I'm her little camera. Yeah, you can. Camera girl.
I'll hold the boom mic.
Yeah. Do you want it to be a throuple?
A throuple, you, me, and Courtney Cox? Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
We can drive around in the van.
Yeah.
And do breaking news stuff. We'll let her like stalk underage kids. She was like, oh, I'm showing up to see if there's a story about to unfold. And I'm like, she's 16. You can't follow her like that.
Literally.
Like, that's not okay. And then that's all my thoughts for Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
But then I guess, what would you eat and drink with this? My answers
I don't have anything
so
original.
Basic.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Guys, Dara and I have been sitting here talking, and we're like, we need to like start like drinking more and making more cocktails.
Right, because I feel like every week I tell you the same shit. And like for movie follow-up suggestions too, I'm pretty sure we're like repeating ourselves.
I know. We need to like start watching more movies and like making more fancy drinks.
Right. We need to start watching more movies that aren't even the movies we're covering on this podcast.
Exactly.
Like I need to do more extracurricular movie watching.
Entirely. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm going to tell you to drink like red wine that Matthew Lillard's Cat Army picks.
That's kind of fire though. And yeah, I think red wine is also good because like blood.
Yeah, I think like this is so basic. We're really bad right now.
But again, my answer is pretty basic. Jiffy Bop. Obviously, she makes the popcorn on the stove at the beginning of the movie. It did make me want popcorn. I was like, I fucking want popcorn. If you want to elevate it, I think if you're gonna watch this movie during like the fall time and you're doing like, oh, fall vibes, like Halloween vibes, I'm gonna watch Scream. There's a good chance that like your local apple orchard or like there's been like a fall like fair or festival or something where you could get homemade kettle corn. I feel like I don't ever eat kettle corn unless it's like
kettle corn.
You smell it and you're like, oh, something feral is unlocked in me. I need
something's happening.
I need kettle corn right now. So I feel like some sort of kettle corn could be like a little like a fall treat, a little fall treat. And then also just any sort of like generic movie like candy. Like I feel like you have to eat it out of a cardboard box. Like the kind you get at the movie theaters. Just because I feel like this is a very like a movies movie. Yeah. So you could like, I don't know, do like popcorn and candy. Literally, that's so fucking basic. And then I'm 100% sure I've said this in the past, but like a boozy slushie. Like the icy machine.
Yeah.
That's very good, or like an apple cider slushie with like rum in it. That's kind of what I want right now. So
I'd do whiskey, but you are a rum girl.
Yeah,
like a spiced rum. Okay, spiced rum makes a big
like
difference.
An apple cider slushy. Fuck, I might be making that later. Now that I think about it. Yeah, that was like my basic ass answers for food and drink. Sorry guys, we'll start eating more gluttonous food, drinking more booze, and watching more movies to improve this segment
just
of the
for
pod.
You. And what are you gonna follow this movie up with? I've got 2 decent ones.
Okay, mine are pretty mid as well. So I think obviously you could do any of the live action Scooby-Doos, 1 or 2. Both are phenomenal because Matthew Lillard, I just want that. Like watching this and I'm like, yeah, that's Shaggy. I'm like, that's Shaggy and I want Shaggy. So you could do that. Like that's like
give me Shaggy.
It's like a 1-to-1. And then I was thinking about like a whodunit, because it's kind of like a whodunit, but like a more serious, like a quote unquote psychological thriller rather than a horror. And I love the movie Seven, and that's very like a big reveal of like who the killer is. But then I was like, no, I'm like, we're gonna take a step away from that. I'm gonna do something that's also like a little camp and a little fun. So my solid suggestion is you watch the 1985 movie Clue.
Oh,
and that's like
good.
a high camp, a lot of fun, but like still like a whodunit.
Yeah,
so,
very good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, actually. I'm gonna tell you to watch a movie that's like also kind of self-aware, because this movie is like self-aware. It's like, oh, this is like the slasher movie, like, but it does it really well. Another one that I think does it really well is I think Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like oh, silly little superhero movie, but it's like actively making fun of like all the stupid fucking like Marvel shit and everything like that. And this is before Marvel, which I think is just a great commentary.
Yeah.
They really knocked it out of the park on that.
They did the reference before there was even anything to
Exactly.
reference, which is crazy.
Yeah, either that or like Zombieland, because I think both of those are pretty on the nose.
For sure. And also Nicolas Cage.
Exactly. What else could I want?
Yeah, for sure. And what are you going to rate this movie out of 10? I'll give it an 7.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I do really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't see
Pacing
myself,
solid.
I don't see myself like rewatching it a ton, but I get the hype now. Like I get it.
Yeah.
It was a good funny little romp. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So yeah, I would. I mean, like I said, I watch this movie probably once or every year or two. So.
And I think this was the perfect little exclamation point to end our slasher month.
Definitely the best one. I can't say best. I forget we watched Pearl.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen our Instagram, go look at. I recreated the Pearl poster pretty fire.
You did an insane job. It's one of our best posters to date.
Thank you. But yeah, so this has been a slasher month. And next month we're gonna do It's a Crime You Haven't Seen this November. So I'm gonna pick a movie that Emily hasn't seen. Emily's gonna pick a movie that I haven't seen that we're like deeply offended that the other person hasn't. Maybe we'll do like an iconic one we both haven't seen or something. So yeah, send in your suggestions because maybe that'll like trigger some ideas for us. But as always, just always send in all of your movie suggestions, theme not needed. And send us your Halloween costumes. We're really getting into the final days where you should be finalizing your looks, and I want to see them. I promise you I want to see them. And also we have a Discord that's pretty new. It's like a little group chatty thing. It's pretty cute. So if you want to join that, the link is in the description below, as well as all of our social links to everything. If you don't follow us, you can check us out. We have a website. You can see where all of our streaming stuff is. You can watch us on YouTube. Now we're trying to do that. Really, I love just looking at myself.
I know.
It took me, I think, at least a year to get used to editing the podcast and hearing my own voice and not wanting to like crawl out of my own skin.
You have to look at us.
And now I have to edit these videos and I have to look at myself too. So the things I do for you, you three, my mom, my best friend, and you one queer, non-binary person from Ohio who's definitely still in high school. I love you. I do this for you. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for listening. Links below. Send us your Halloween costumes. I'm not kidding. And goodbye and good night.